could go ahead and tiptoe through your life, digging in the dirt, you can stress on the strife, but I'm gonna fly past the worry and the pain today. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, faith. You could cry all night about the things that you hate, so dissatisfied in so many ways, but I'm gonna find a way to celebrate today. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. I'm flying on faith, flying on faith. Picked up my baggage and I threw it out the door.
Good morning. Good morning. I pray that you are having the most amazing day possible. I want to say hello to my beautiful wellness community. Once again, this is Pastor V on Wellness, where faith meets health and wholeness is our goal. We want to live the best quality of life possible. And today we're talking about something we often ignore until it's too late, and it's when to see your doctor. If you looked at the title, it said, Doctor, when should we go see our doctor? Not every ache or pain means we should panic, but not every symptom should be brushed off either. Some of us we fall more in the lines of, oh, it's not so bad, I'm not going to rush to the doctor, that costs money, and all of those things. So we're going to talk about a few things today and how to use wisdom when we are talking about things that are happening in our bodies. Remember that wellness, that being fit, is about more than just our physical health, but our mental health as well, and our spiritual health. Here we believe that we transform our body, our mind, and our spirit together. They're not separate entities, but they work together to give us the best quality of life possible. And we take small steps that make big change. How are you this morning? Good to see you on here, Spring. I'm so excited about today because so often we get confused about when we should see our doctor. I will put up my disclaimer that I am not a physician first and foremost, nor am I a certified nutritionist, and this should not be considered medical advice. You should see your doctor before starting any diet or exercise program. And remember, I like to say this too, this is not a diet or exercise program. This is about how do I shape my life in such a way that I can live the best life possible. And small steps, what? Big change. You got it. Type that in if you are in a place that you can do that. Type it in, small steps, big change, because we want to see our lives transformed. So, I just want to let you know this topic, I wasn't going to talk about this today, but last night, or should I say very early this morning, in fact, I looked at my clock and it was 2:22 this morning. I started having an awful cramp in both legs, not just one, but both legs. Scared me half to death. And all I could do was just pray and just say, okay, Lord, I just need you to touch my legs. I can't walk, I can't move. And at that moment, I couldn't even think. And all I could say was, this too shall pass. This too shall pass. And I made it back. I had gone into the restroom, full disclosure, I made it back to my bed, and I called my husband and said, look, I'm hurting. My legs are hurting, both of them. And I would say, hey, maybe it's related to the exercise, but it's not, because it's happened in the past and it has not been on an exercise day. It's just happened. And so my concern is that these cramps are becoming a little bit more pronounced or concerning. And so I am making a doctor's appointment because I want to know. Generally, when you start to have cramps in muscles, it has something to do with your calcium level, your sodium level, or other minerals that may be involved. But those are two that are the most prevalent, is your sodium or calcium. And so I want to go and find out if my levels are off balance. If so, it may just be something as simple as taking a supplement and getting them back in balance. So I am going to be taking care of that. So that's what kind of prompted it. It's one of those things that I've got to see the doctor because I can't ignore it anymore. So let's talk through some very common symptoms that's your body way of waving a red flag and saying it's time to see the doctor. These are some when it's wise to call your doctor and get checked out. If you have a persistent cough, we're in this age now of the COVID scare, and every cough, every sneeze, every sniffle has us concerned, and rightfully so, because with COVID, the strains have been different, and it's been one of those crazy things where 1 minute you're okay and the next minute you are having full-blown symptoms. So I'm not saying dismiss it, but let's look at a little bit about that persistent cough. If it persists for more than 3 weeks, I know you may say that's a long time, but if it persists for more than 3 weeks, so it seems like it's getting better, but it's just kind of lingering under the surface there, and every now and then you just kind of have that little coughy feel. And if it comes with shortness of breath and wheezing, or you're coughing up blood, don't wait at all. Okay. If it's just the cough by itself, a little dry cough, okay. But if it's associated with shortness of breath, wheezing, or coughing up blood, go immediately to your doctor. In fact, if you're coughing up blood, I'd say go to the ER, not just to your doctor. But definitely if it's shortness of breath, I would go ahead and do a walk-in. Most doctors allow you to do walk-in visits so that you don't have to spend a fortune on the ER. That's why it's important to have a primary care physician so that you can walk into their office and say, hey, this is what's happening to me. Help me out here. All right. Another thing is cramps in your lower extremities. This is something important to me because it is no longer just occasional cramps, especially after exercise. So this is good for you to know. After exercise, you may experience a little bit of cramping, and it should not be severe, and it should last for a very short period of time, and is generally due to dehydration. So you probably just need to get some water in your system, okay? But if you're getting frequent cramps in your calves, especially at rest or when walking, it could be a signal of poor, I'm sorry, I messed up there. Of poor circulation. Why in the world? Poor circulation, or it even could be a blood clot. So you want to get that checked out. I don't think mine is a blood clot because mine is actually occurring a little bit higher than just my calves. It's almost in my thighs, and so I'm really concerned about there being some type of imbalance with my sodium or my calcium. So I want to go get that checked out. But if it's in the calves of your legs, that's the right behind, below your knee and above your ankle, in that area. If you're feeling pain there, touch that area. Is it warm to the touch? Does it feel like, as I used to tell people, does it feel like you have a fever in your leg? Because it's hotter than the rest of your body. If you feel that, or if you feel, even if you're kind of just gently rubbing and you feel like a little tight spot, a knot, go see your doctor because it could be a blood clot. Sprain, yes, don't do what I did. I waited thinking all my symptoms were simply a common cold. Not really. I had pneumonia. Absolutely. A cough that's persistent and does not let up, no matter what you're doing, definitely go see your doctor. Chest pains and discomfort. What do you think I'm going to say about that one? Go to the ER. That one, I wouldn't even say go to your doctor. That is as I say, and I'm about to post it, that's a non-negotiable. Go to the ER. Do not pass what is it? Don't pass. What is it on the Monopoly board? I can't even remember. But anyway, chest pain or discomfort, this is non-negotiable. Pressure, tightness, or pain in your chest, especially with activity, could be a sign of a heart problem. Don't self-diagnose. Go get help immediately. That doesn't mean go to the walk-in at your doctor's office. That means take yourself to the ER immediately, the ED, the ER, whatever you want to call it, the emergency room, the emergency department. Go. Do not pass, stop, or go, or whatever it is on the Monopoly board. Just go, because that is not a good sign. Stomach pain. What if you're experiencing some stomach pain? Let's talk a little bit about those types of symptoms. And there are going to be some that are going to should take you directly to the ER as well with stomach pain. Stomach pain, when you have some occasional bloating or indigestion happening, I'd say maybe make an appointment to go see your doctor, because it could be something going on. You don't want to dismiss it either if it's happening consistently. It may just be that you're lactose intolerant and you need to stay away from dairy products. Or it could be that you have what they call celiac disease and you need to stay away from wheat products and what they call gluten. But your wheat products are going to have that gluten in it, something that makes you kind of feel like you've gone from being not full to full in 5 seconds. If this happens, but it's persistent or severe abdominal pain, especially if it's sharp or if it's radiating or if it's accompanied by nausea, you need to get medical attention. So anytime you have just that regular bloated feeling after eating a meal, okay, if it continues, you do want to go to your doctor to find out what some of what it could be. Is it just indigestion, gas, or is it that I have celiac disease, which means I need to stay away from gluten, or is it that I'm lactose intolerant? You want to figure those things out. But if it's sharp and it's, persistent and it's not letting up and it's not associated with anything you've eaten, if it's going up your chest, it starts in your abdomen, but it feels like it's going up your chest, go see your doctor, not see your doctor, go to the ED, the emergency department immediately, because especially in women, that could be a heart attack. And you're thinking, oh, I'm okay, it's just some indigestion. It could very well just be indigestion, but you don't want to be self-diagnosing once again. So go to the ER. If it's just that persistent bloating over time, go see your doctor. But go to the ER if it's sharp, radiating, and it's accompanied by nausea. Get on out of here. Go take care of it. The last one I'm going to talk about today is if you're having some what they call unexplained fatigue. Some of us, as we get older, we don't want to admit that sometimes we're just getting tired faster than we did before. But if it is something that is nagging and persistent, and it is more than just, I feel tired, but it's, you're feeling exhausted. Being tired after a long day, that's normal. But overwhelming fatigue that lingers and affects your daily activity, it can indicate an underlying issue like anemia or a thyroid problem or more serious concerns. I have what they call pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia. I'm going to put that in the chat too. So, because this is something that years ago, I think I spelled it right. Yes, years ago, pernicious anemia was misdiagnosed on so many occasions, and people thought that they were dying because guess what? They were. Pernicious anemia is a condition where you don't have enough B12. We make B12 in our gut, in our stomach. There's an area, I'm going to say the area is probably the size of a nickel. That's in our tummy. And it has what is called the intrinsic factor. And that intrinsic factor takes the vitamin B12 that we are eating in whatever food we're consuming. It's in a lot of your vegetables, it's in your meat products. And so it takes that because our body cannot transfer B12 into usable substance without that little intrinsic factor, that little maybe just shy of a nickel size area in our tummy that converts it to usable, a usable substance. And mine was pretty much obliterated. I went into this place where I could barely get up out of the bed. I mean, literally, I would get up and go to work, come home, take a shower, and get in my bed. And I would be in the bed until it was time to get up and go to work the next day. I couldn't do anything else. And then it got to a point where even going to work took everything within me. And this went on for about 6 months before I finally said, look, get yourself up and figure out what's going on with you. Your family is suffering, your children, your husband, everyone's suffering with you because you have no energy to do anything else. And so I ended up going, yes, it can cause leg cramps as well. We're about to get into why. Because B12 literally forms the sheath. So imagine this. Let me take it out. You know, I have to do demonstrations. I'm one of those kind of teachers. This is your nerve, okay? Okay, it's raw, it's exposed, and if anybody touches it, you're gonna touch the roof because it hurts, okay? And so this is the sheath around your nerve, the thing that protects that nerve. And if you are low on B12, then the sheath begins to disintegrate. And this is a perfect pen because look, it's got little holes in it. So imagine that the sheath is still there, but it's getting these little holes in it. And so now that nerve is exposed. That nerve now is being disintegrated. So you start to get the numbness and the tingling, and you feel like your leg is gone to sleep, or your fingers or your toes have gone to sleep. Or for me, I started to notice that around my lips started to feel numb. And so that was one of those things that helped them to diagnose. Pernicious anemia is a rule-out disease. So they're going to look to make sure it's not your thyroid. They're going to look to make sure that it's not cancer, and many other things they check for. And so finally, my doctor said, let's look at your B12, your folate, and your iron level in conjunction with each other. My B12 was almost non-existent. I almost had no B12 level at all, which explained the fatigue. It explained the numbness and the tingling. It explained the feelings of irritability sometimes. Yeah. And it is a disease that, like I said, many people before the 1980s, they died from it because doctors were not checking for it. And so I feel grateful to know I can take as many B12 supplements as I want. It will do nothing because I don't have that little functioning spot in my gut. I have to take injections every 10 days so that I can keep my B12 level up. So guys, fatigue, don't take it for granted. It could be another underlying issue, and it may just be that you need to go take a good nap. But sometimes you have to go to your doctor to find out which one it is. And so, doctor, I need your help. I need your help. Remember the rule of 3. And I'm going to put this in the chat as well. Remember the rule of 3. And I'm going to put it there. Let me get it for you. The rule of 3. Yep, I'm going to say it one more time. The rule of 3. Y'all better not mess with me, okay? The rule of 3 is if the symptoms last more than 3 days, so you've had something going on, if it's pain, if it's discomfort, whatever it is, if it's going on for more than 3 days, go ahead, call your doctor. because they may want to get you into the office. And if it gets worse over 3 weeks, so you've gone to see them and they're like, not so bad, but it continues or it gets worse over the next 3 weeks, call them back, say, hey, this is still here. I'm still experiencing this symptom. I'm really concerned. I need a doctor's appointment. Or if it happens more than 3 times in a month, unexpectedly, like these cramps. And Spring, you're absolutely correct. They could be associated with my B12 level, but I still need to go see the doctor because apparently if it is, then we need to adjust my therapy. It may be that I need to increase the injections to once a week as opposed to once every 10 days because there's something going on. So we need to remember the rule of 3. The symptoms are lasting more than 3 days, they get worse over 3 weeks, or they're happening more than 3 times in a month unexpectedly. It's time to see your doctor. And once again, if we're having chest pains that come on suddenly with numbness, or we're having a headache or vision changes, we need to call 911 and go to the ER immediately. Chest pain with numbness, stomach pain with nausea and vomiting, blurred vision, headache, call 911, go to the doctor. To the hospital, immediately. So these are just some practical things that I've given you today. Go see your doctor. Don't be afraid to go see your doctor because guess what? They have to see you. They have to see you. And you start saying, oh, but I don't have insurance. Here in Savannah, we have 2 clinics it's the J.C. Lewis Center and the Curtis V. Cooper Center. They are federally funded centers that have to see you no matter your ability to pay. Most cities have clinics like this. And then if all else fails, unfortunately, sometimes you have to go to the ER. But take care of yourself because wellness is about more than just physical health, but all of those things happening to you, they begin to wear on your mental health as well. And eventually your spiritual health, because it's like, Lord, I feel miserable. I don't feel like praying. I don't want to read. I don't feel like it begins to have a domino effect. So go see your doctor. Don't be afraid to go see your doctor. And I know insurance is a booger. I know it. But the only way that we can sometimes protest how they're doing insurance in our country is to go see our doctor. Let our doctor know, I cannot afford to pay you, but I'm sick. And so are you going to turn me away? Come on, challenge the system and take care of yourself. Because remember here, we are here to transform our body, our mind, and our spirit together because they work in conjunction, and small steps make big change. And above all else, my desire and my prayer for you is that you be blessed and be whole. Go on out there, call your doctor. Doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of loving you. Hey, that was a bad rendition of that song, but you get the point. Go see your doctor, guys. Take care of yourself. This is Pastor V on Wellness.
You could go ahead and tiptoe through your life, digging in the dirt. You can stress on the